So our water supply here in St. John's is generally very rich in minerals, especially iron. There could be some bacteria in there. So this little vial demonstrates, for example, what some of this impure, of course this is a very exaggerated, concentrated sample. This is water that contains some iron in it. So I'll pour that into a beaker here to demonstrate. So that's not a particularly appetizing glass of water. None of us would want to drink that. So the city, for its water supply, will need to purify that. So they want to settle out, they want the iron to precipitate out or settle out of the water. They don't want it to be dissolved in it. So what they do is they add this purple compound, which is called potassium permanganate. So normally potassium permanganate is a solid mineral that's dissolved in water. So it gives this purple solution. And the purpose of the permanganate is twofold. One, it would kill off any bacteria, essentially oxidizing it, making it inactive so we don't get sick from drinking it. But also what it allows to happen is for the iron to become oxidized, and it also acts as an indicator. So you start to see it's getting a little bit darker, so the iron is starting to now settle out of the vial in the bottom of the beaker there. And eventually, once we've oxidized all of the iron, we now start having the purple color of the permanganate stick around in the solution. That tells us we're done. The manganese isn't reacting anymore with the iron, and it's not reacting, for example, with any bacteria in there. So now what we need to do, because the permanganate solution is often a little bit acidic, they need to neutralize it. So they need to increase the pH to pH 7 so we can drink it. So they add a little bit of base to it, for example. And it's this addition of base which also allows the iron to start to settle out. So now you're starting to see it's now forming rust essentially at the bottom, and the rust is going to settle out in the sedimentation tanks. So now this allows all of the iron and a lot of other minerals to come out of the water, so the water can be purified to drink. You can filter that, etc. But now you've got excess manganese in there that you've got to get rid of, and as you see here, that manganese is water soluble. So they add another simple salt. This is potassium iodide. So those of you who are on a sodium reduced diet, if you're having half salt, this is often found in this. So this is edible. So they'll add a little bit of this potassium iodide to it. And the potassium iodide now reacts with the excess permanganate, and that causes the manganese now to precipitate out. So it's the precipitated manganese that has a dark gray or black color, and we think that this is what's actually coming through the pipes.